We all know about dragons, unicorns, and Bigfoot. But what if I told you there's a feathered, a giant sea bull, and a snake the size of an elephant? And they're not just myths. Today we're diving into 7 rare mythical creatures that most people have never heard of, but they might have actually been real. Let's get weird. In Inuit legends, the Amarok is a massive wolf that hunts people who wander off alone. So basically your anxiety, but with claws. But it might be based on something real. The dire wolf was a prehistoric predator bigger than today's wolves, with bone-crushing jaws and a bad attitude. Forget werewolves, the Amarok is the original solo stalker. Hope you brought a flashlight. In Central Africa, folks still talk about the Ngoubou, a short-tempered, horned animal that fights elephants. Think rhino, but on serious pre-workout. Some researchers think this myth might be linked to fossils of Styracosaurus, a dino with a spiky frill and attitude to match. Picture a medieval war helmet with legs. Honestly, I'd root for it in a fight. The Makara is a wild mashup from Hindu and Buddhist mythology. Part crocodile, part fish, part what the heck is that? It shows up on ancient temples as a guardian spirit, but scientists think it could have been inspired by gharials, those creepy, long-snouted crocodiles, or even Mosasaurus, a sea monster that makes great whites look like sushi. The Makara is basically evolution Frankenstein. The Aztecs worshipped Quetzalcoatl, a feathered serpent that could fly, teach, and totally ruin your day if you crossed it. But here's the kicker. A real prehistoric flying reptile called Quetzalcoatlus lived in North America, and it had a 40-foot wingspan. Ancient people might have found its bones and thought, yeah, this has to be a god. Makes you wonder if pterosaurs were the original influencers.
From deep in Chilean folklore comes the Camahueto, a green, one-horned sea bull that causes floods and chaos wherever it charges. Kind of like if a unicorn and a hippo had a radioactive baby. Could it be real? Some say the myth might have come from fossils of Arsinoitherium, a hippo-sized beast with twin horns, or sightings of prehistoric river giants. Either way, if something glows and comes out of the river, just back away slowly. Before Harry Potter made the phoenix famous, there was the Bennu, an ancient Egyptian bird tied to the sun, life, and rebirth. It was described as a giant heron with blazing feathers. Turns out, a now extinct heron species called Ardea benuides once lived in Madagascar, and it had a wingspan over 10 feet. Imagine that flying over your head. Nope, that's not majestic, that's a security risk. And finally, meet the Grootslang from South Africa. It's said to have the body of a snake, the head of an elephant, and a love for diamonds. No, really. It guards treasure-filled caves and crushes anything that gets too close. Sound fake? Maybe. But scientists have found fossils of Titanoboa, a 42-foot snake, and ancient elephant bones in the same region. Put those two together, stir in a little legend, and boom. You've got a monster with bling and a bite. So there you have it. 7 rare mythical creatures that were way too real for comfort. Some were inspired by ancient fossils. Others might have actually been seen by early humans. Either way, they're more than just bedtime stories. Which one freaked you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Hit like if your brain was just blown. And subscribe for more weird history, ancient beasts, and the truth behind the myths.